Okay, so we're gonna talk about what you should be thinking about when you're in turtle. Depending on where your opponent is, will dictate where the threats are coming from. So if James is in turtle and I'm directly behind the turtle, what we're gonna find is there's only so many threats they could do. They can start, if James is flat-footed, then they can easily take horseshoe grip and start to withdraw you up. And this creates like a lot of threat, and it makes it very difficult for you to start recovering very quickly without getting an attack. So this will come over, hooks will come over the leg, things like that. So being on your toes is important when they're directly behind you. And then it's a really good time for you to start thinking, I need to escape away. Okay, so if I'm directly behind, he wants to think about going directly forward. Okay, if he's at the side, it's all about assessing where you can create the space. So if I'm on this side, the space that he wants to go to is over here, and that's going to create a lot of issues for me. I'm going to have to focus on keeping him this way, just initially, so that I can start to attack. I can start pinning his legs and getting inside of his elbows and knees, and the same on the other side. From the front head, from the front of the turtle, obviously the space is now behind the hips, and that's where he wants to be thinking about going back into. So I'll just show you a couple of things. So if he's behind me, if someone's directly behind you, you're on your toes and your head because the weight is on your hip line. So it's not in your head. Anytime the weight comes forward into your head, I would suggest posting on an elbow instead of this. When the weight's off of you, so if he's off hip to hip, the weight can be in the head, no problem. Or if it's at the hip, it's fine. But the more he comes forward with his weight into your chest, I think this is going to be very uncomfortable. And you're going to be posting on your elbows and fighting more like this. Okay, so if he's directly behind me, what I'm going to do is keeping this inside space important, looking to control a hand, stepping up and sliding out. So just a sit out, just straight ahead, turning to face. You can do similar things if he's at the side and he has a hand in. I can try to control, so I can either pummel inside and I want to start bringing this hip away into that space by dropping this hip down, or I can just control the hand and sit out to come in. Okay. There's other things you can do here as well. If you really want to control it, you can bring him into that space as you know you're controlling, trying to sit out, or if he's leaning in too much, you can start stepping behind, looking for the far leg, and bringing him into the space. And that's just countering the position. We'll not look too much at the countering stuff, but really simple, controlling a hand and then moving either by going into that space and then turning to face, or just sitting to guard. So again, so he's behind me, I want to be controlling, stepping up, sliding through, and then either turning to face this way or turning to face this way. If he's at the side, I can pummel inside this space, and then I'm just sitting to see the guard. I can take an underhook, and then I can start to use a half butterfly guard or half guard, whatever you like. When he's in front of you, in front head position here, the main thing is obviously your neck and hands. So you're always going to be fighting to deny his hands controlling your collars. And you can do simple things by taking a 2-on-1 and sitting back. Okay. So if this hand's coming in, if he gives me this hand, you can just dominate it. Okay? It's really effective control. It's very hard for him to start attacking you when you take a 2-on-1. So you're just waiting for those offensive grits to come in. He should have better setups, but most of the time people are just going to try to connect their hands, and you're looking to grab. So as I'm here, I'm trying to grab maybe all 4 fingers, then the wrist, and then I can take 2-on-1 and pass my head, and I can start sitting back into guard. So the 2-on-1 from front head is very effective. All this is effective gi and no gi. But when you're here, you're on your head, because the weight is mostly just going to be leaning off of you. So if he's in front head, I can just keep my hands up, keep my elbows in, and these hands are going to come in, and you can be sure of that. Okay, so control, hop out, and then you can sit back pretty safe. Okay, so that's assess where your opponent is in relation to your turtle. Okay, like that's the first layer of just, you can use this to start creating escaping opportunities, and then you're on the offense most of the time. You have strong 2-on-1, you've got an underhook, and you're on the front foot again. And if you just focus on never letting him inside turtle, like that's the best place to be. We've obviously covered more positions that are like bad. Basically, you've messed up and they're inside, and we're going to go through more of that now.